Today, we're going to be talking about 3 things I wish I knew before becoming a portrait photographer. Number 1, you cannot please everyone. Don't get me wrong, if you're good at what you're doing, then chances are a lot of your clients are going to be texting and calling you, praising you for the images you took of them. But whether it takes you a month of working, a year of working, 3 years of working, you're eventually going to run into a client that is just impossible to please. And it's not always your fault. To give you an example of this, once a year, every year, I shoot First Holy Communions. And the rundown is always the same. I'm not in control of what happens, I'm purely documenting the day. Now, it's the children's responsibility to go up to the vicar, kneel down, take the bread, they eat it, they do the sign of the cross, and then they walk away. And it's quite a slow process, so plenty of time to take really nice photos of them receiving the bread. But there was one child who just didn't want to do any of this, walked right up to the priest, didn't kneel down, just sort of took the bread out of the vicar's hand and just walked away. Nothing I can do about that. Again, I can't interrupt the ceremony. The kids just do what the kid's gonna do, and then I photograph it. So as you can imagine, all these children's parents, well, they all had photos of their children taking communion. But this one parent naturally didn't have that photo, because the photo would have just been him walking up and just taking it like as if it was nothing, like as if he was handing him a fiver. So as you can imagine, I didn't deliver this photo because there was no photo to be had. And guess what? The father was non-stop texting me about how it's not fair. All these other parents had photos of their children taking communion, kneeling down, having these really nice photos of this, and he didn't have it. I'm sorry, but it wasn't me who made your child not take communion properly. But even with that being said, even though I had no control over what the child did, it was still my fault. And that eventually is going to happen to you. It won't be specifically in a communion, but you will eventually have a client that is just impossible to please, and they expect you to do stuff that's just, again, impossible. Don't let it dishearten you. It's going to happen. Just be as polite as you can be and move along. So I've touched upon clients. But my second tip goes into, well, how do you get those clients in the first place? Now, when I first started off, I tried multiple ways of getting clients. I went with the most popular way of getting a client first, which was by advertising a single image and then saying, well, for an hour and all the photos, it's £150 or £200. Guess what? No one bought it because I had very little portfolio at the time. And with little portfolio comes little trust. So instead, I went and did the opposite of what everybody else was doing. And instead, I started offering my services for free, or at least my time for free. A lot of parents are going to see these images. They're going to see that you're offering your time for free, and they're going to go, well, what have I got to lose? And that will take a lot of nerves off of your plate because you're offering your time for free. If you don't get any images from the shoot because your card failed or your nerves were just too high and you just couldn't get anything good, well, there's no pressure because you didn't charge them a thing. But let's just say you do the shoot really well and you come out with some amazing images. Well, you provide them with an online gallery that's completely watermarked and you charge them per image. That way, they haven't paid you a single dime for your time. But if they want those images, well, then they might be priced at, say, £10 an image. And you might have 30 images in the gallery. So if they want to buy out all those images, that's £300 for a shoot. So these parents have gone from going, oh, well, it's a free shoot, suddenly to paying £300 if your photos are that good that they want to buy out the entire album. It's about hooking those initial clients with the term free. And then when you provide them with images that they really can't turn down, if they really like them, they're going to pay for them. And now you've got more portfolio and you've got more money. So tip number 3 is an extension onto tip number 2. You've got your clients, you've got all your portfolio, you've made your money, and you've been in the game for a long time. You need to start upping your prices. Think about it. When I first started, I started with a Canon 70D and one lens. That was a 60mm macro lens that I used for my portraits. Now let's just say for argument's sake, all that equipment came to £700. I had 3 images in my portfolio and a month's worth of experience. However, now that I've got 7 years worth of experience under my belt, a lot more portfolio and gear that easily exceeds over £5,000, should I be charging a client the same amount as I was when I first started? Well, absolutely not. Those 3 things that I gained over 7 years of experience it should not be charged at the same price as what I was doing before. But it can be scary when you start upping your prices because you think, well, returning clients might not return anymore because my prices are going up. But you've got to think about it like this. Let's just say you doubled your pricing and you lose 50% of your clients. You've now only got the other 50% left, but you're making the same amount of money and you've got 50% more time on your hands. That's 50% more time to do more marketing and to gain more clients. Then you gain back 100% clients again. Then you up your prices again. You lose 50% clients. You're making the same amount of money, but you got 50% more time. So you just really need to value yourself. You need to value the portfolio that you've gained. You need to value how much work and time you've been putting into your business. And you also need to value how much money you've put into your business, because cameras aren't free, lenses aren't free. They're the opposite. They're really expensive, and you need to pay back what you've been paying for. So if you're going into portrait photography, have fun with it, get more portfolio images, market yourself, and you'll be just fine. So if you've stuck around this far, well, thank you very much. If you could leave a like on the video, it would really help the channel out. But again, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.